Investing extra money wisely, turning bonuses and gifts into long-term wealth. One of the most overlooked yet powerful opportunities for building wealth lies not in salary increases, promotions, or even business profits, but in extra money. Bonuses, gifts, side income, tax refunds, inheritance, honorariums, and unexpected windfalls. Because this money does not form part of our predictable monthly income, it often escapes the discipline of budgeting and planning. As a result, it is frequently spent emotionally rather than strategically. Psychologically, extra money feels different. It feels undeserved, unearned, or temporary. People tell themselves, "I wasn't counting on this anyway," and that belief becomes justification for careless spending. However, history, behavioral finance research, and real-world wealth patterns consistently show that how people handle irregular income is a defining factor in whether they build wealth or remain financially stagnant. This lecture examines how to handle extra money with intentionality. It explores how to invest bonuses and gifts wisely, how to resist pleasurable but destructive spending habits, how to cut costs deliberately, and how to make disciplined sacrifices so that temporary income is converted into long-term financial security and freedom. Understanding the nature of extra money. Extra money is not free money. A bonus or gift may feel like free money, but from an economic perspective, it is capital. Capital is not designed for consumption. It is designed for deployment. Capital has one primary function: to produce more capital. When extra money is immediately spent on lifestyle upgrades, new gadgets, luxury items, or celebratory indulgences, it produces no future value. Once consumed, it disappears. In contrast, when extra money is invested, it becomes productive. It earns, grows, compounds, and creates options. This distinction is critical. The wealthy treat bonuses as opportunity, a chance to accelerate progress, reduce risk, or expand capacity. The financially vulnerable treat bonuses as permission to spend, relax discipline, or temporarily live beyond their means. The difference is not income level. It is mindset. Why extra money is dangerous? Extra money is dangerous precisely because it feels separate from normal financial rules. It introduces several risks. It bypasses your normal budget, since it was not planned for. There is no predefined allocation. Triggers emotional spending, celebration, stress relief, or reward-based purchases take over. It invites social pressure. Society encourages people to enjoy themselves or treat themselves. It creates false affordability. People mistake temporary cash flow for sustainable wealth. Without a predefined strategy, extra money almost always leaks into pleasure spending. And unlike regular income, these leaks are rarely noticed, tracked, or regretted until years later when the opportunity cost becomes clear. The psychology of pleasurable spending. The pleasure trap. Pleasurable spending is powerful because it satisfies deep human needs. Immediate gratification. It feels good now. Emotional relief. It distracts from stress or fatigue. Social validation. It signals success, reward, or status. However, the cost of pleasurable spending is rarely immediate or obvious. It includes no long-term value, no income generation, reinforcement of impulsive habits, reduced financial resilience. The brain is wired to prioritize now over later. This is why many intelligent people struggle financially, not because they lack knowledge, but because they lack behavioral discipline. Investing is not primarily an intellectual activity. It is a psychological one. Delayed gratification as a wealth skill. Delayed gratification is the foundation of wealth creation. Every successful investor has learned to say, "not now," to pleasure in exchange for future freedom. They consistently choose future independence over present excitement, ownership over admiration. A powerful mental shift is required. Instead of asking, "Can I afford this?" a disciplined investor asks, "What future income am I sacrificing for this purchase?" Every spending decision is a trade-off. You are either funding today's comfort or tomorrow's security. Rules for handling bonuses and gifts. Decide before the money arrives. One of the most important disciplines in financial management is pre-decision. Never wait until money enters your account to decide its purpose. Emotion is strongest at the moment of receipt. Predetermine allocation percentages, such as 70% toward investments, 20% toward savings or emergency reserves, 10% toward controlled enjoyment. This approach removes emotion from decision-making and replaces it with structure. The goal is not to eliminate enjoyment, but to contain it. Separate the money immediately. Once the money is received, transfer investment funds immediately. Move savings into separate, less accessible accounts. Leave only the spending portion in your main account. Money that is visible is vulnerable. Separation creates friction, and friction protects capital. If money remains easily accessible, it will eventually be rationalized away. Treat extra money as non-lifestyle money. Bonuses and gifts are not designed to upgrade lifestyle expenses such as cars, phones, clothing, vacations. They are meant to upgrade net worth, cash flow, financial security, opportunity. Lifestyle upgrades create recurring costs. Asset upgrades create recurring benefits. One increases dependency. The other increases freedom. Cutting costs to multiply investment capacity. Cost cutting is not deprivation. Cost cutting is often misunderstood as suffering. In reality, it is redirection. Every cost cut should have a clear destination: investments, savings, or growth opportunities. Key reflective questions include: does this expense improve my future? Does it generate income or appreciation? Would my future self thank me for this purchase? When cost cutting is purposeful, it becomes empowering rather than restrictive. High-impact cost cuts. The most effective savings often come from subscription creep, lifestyle inflation after income increases, convenience spending, food delivery, impulse transport, status-driven purchases. Small amounts saved consistently have more impact than occasional large savings because they compound. The discipline of consistency matters more than the size of any single decision. Replace, don't just remove. Removing pleasures without replacement leads to burnout. Instead, replace expensive habits with skill-building activities, reading and education, strategic networking, health-improving routines. Cost-cutting without vision feels like punishment. Cost-cutting with purpose builds strength and discipline. Making sacrifices that matter. Sacrifice is temporary. Freedom is permanent. All meaningful investments require sacrifice. Spending less today, waiting longer for gratification, ignoring social comparison, the reward is significant. Financial independence, decision-making freedom, peace of mind. Sacrifice is not loss, it is exchange. You exchange temporary pleasure for lasting stability. Choose meaningful sacrifices. Not all sacrifices are wise. Do not sacrifice health, integrity, family stability. Do sacrifice excess comfort, impulse indulgence, the pressure to appear successful. True wealth is not visible. The goal is not to look rich, but to be financially strong. Directing savings into the right investments. Understand the purpose of each investment before investing. Clarity is essential. Ask, is this investment for growth, income, or preservation? What is my time horizon? What level of risk can I sustain emotionally and financially? Avoid investing simply because others are doing it. Alignment matters more than popularity. Common investment channels for extra money. Depending on individual context, extra money may be directed toward diversified market investments, business ventures, skills and education with earning potential, long-term real assets, debt reduction, which offers guaranteed returns. Extra money is particularly suitable for investments that require patience and discipline because it does not disrupt the day-to-day survival needs. Avoid emotional and trend-based investing. Never invest because of hype, because of fear of missing out, because of social pressure. Sound investment decisions are rational, researched, and aligned with long-term goals, not emotional reactions. Building a long-term mindset. Think in years, not months. Wealth is rarely built quickly, it grows quietly through consistency. Bonuses invested over time create compounding growth, financial resilience, life options. Short-term thinking creates fragile finances. Long-term thinking creates stability. Identity shift. Sustainable financial change requires an identity shift. Begin to see yourself as a steward, not an owner. a builder, not a consumer, an investor, not a spender. Behavior follows identity. When identity changes, discipline becomes natural. Extra money is a test of character, discipline, and vision. Most people fail this test by converting opportunity into consumption. Those who succeed treat bonuses and gifts as seeds, planted carefully, protected patiently, and harvested intentionally. By resisting pleasurable spending, cutting unnecessary costs, and making strategic sacrifices, temporary income is transformed into permanent advantage. The ultimate goal is not just wealth, but freedom, stability, and the ability to live life on your own terms. The choice is simple, though not easy. Spend it once or invest it forever.